All right, we are here with the Erskin Music Show again. So excited that you guys are here. Wouldn't have a show without you. In fact, actually, we could have a show without you because it's just live stream and then you just open. But anyway, it is always good when we have you. So here we go. Facebook Live. Thank you guys for tuning in today. For those of you who are watching all across the contiguous in the United States, I'm so glad to see you. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, man, YouTube is strong out there among the nations. So hello India, hello Africa, hello. All right, so for those of you who are watching on Twitch, which we've started to have some more people interact on Twitch, okay. All right, how about doing the games and listening to the Erskin Music Show? There could be nothing better than that. 1 hour a day, that's all we ask for. Just 1 hour of your time, of your life. It adds up over a lifetime. But just think of the reconfiguration of your mind that will happen as I'm trying to get people in this world to chill the heck out. Now, let me put a note up here to let you guys know the comment section is turned on. Comment. Comments on. Bam. That's right, Jason. Algorithm. So the comment section is turned on. The snarkier, the better. You're going to enjoy our guest today. This is Angela McCuiston. She's coming on. But hey, there's a little some big head is reminding me here, and Ruby and Scooby are tapping me on the shoulder, as it were, and reminding me that today is a special day. Well, yeah, there's a lot going on today. I'll just say this. So let's get to it. We got a lot of stuff that's going on here today. Let's race ahead to our Bible verse for the day because we got to get Angela coming on here very soon. We do not want to keep our special guest waiting, but we've got more surprises today. So after Angela is here with us, you won't want to miss. Yeah, so you won't want to miss this episode because this is going to be fantastic. And then we're going to celebrate, have a little bit of a celebration that's going on here because I've got a new album that's coming out. It's available on all different platforms today. And so you, whoever you are, whoever the fantastic yous are that are out there in the world will be able to ascertain, procure, apprehend this album and however you listen to and or stream music. So that is there for your liking, and hopefully that will be something that will encourage you. All right, let's get to the floppy Bible today. The floppy Bible. You know, they say that a person whose Bible is open, falling open, is the revelation or reveals a life that is not falling apart. I kind of messed that statement up, but that's okay. I won't mess this up. Jesus describes himself as a good shepherd. Now, what's incredible about this is not only in Psalm 23, but also in the book of Ezekiel, this theme of God being a good shepherd and shepherding his people and guiding his people is found throughout Scripture. And so I wanted to read to you again just the importance of knowing the Father. And then as a result of knowing the Father revealing the Son, as a result of knowing the Son, having the Holy Spirit transform our hearts, and then us having union, vital union with Christ. But look at what it says here. John chapter 10, truly I tell you, anyone who doesn't enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in some other way is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is a shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens it for him, and the sheep hear his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought all his own outside, he goes ahead of them. The sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will never follow a stranger. Instead, they will run away from him because they don't know the voice of strangers. Jesus gave them this figure of speech, but they did not understand what he was telling them. So he goes on. Jesus said again, truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. And I am he who came before me. And the ones who came before me are thieves and they're robbers. But the sheep didn't listen to them. I am the gate. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. A thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come so that they may have life and have it abundantly. I've got some of these verses memorized, and so I'm reverting back to other verses. This is the Christian Standard floppy Bible. I am the good shepherd, says in verse 11. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, since he is not the shepherd and doesn't own his sheep, leaves them and turns away. And when he sees a wolf coming, the wolf then snatches and scatters them. This happens because he is a hired hand and doesn't care about the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, I lay down my life for the sheep. But I have other sheep that are not from this sheep pen. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. Then there will be one flock, one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay my life down so that no one can take it up again. Jesus is balling in this passage of scripture here. Hey, if you really want it, come get it. No, my God loves it. He's in it. Like Jesus he's doing that mic drop thing once again, as Jesus does all throughout scripture. The disciples are coming to him and they're asking him questions. He's giving them these profound teachings, and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't get it. You've only said I am at this point about 6 or 7 times in the Gospel of John. And obviously in their private conversations, he is revealing himself even more to them. And they're like, not really sure. Like, who are you, Jesus? But he has given them verifiable understanding of the fact that he's connected himself to the Father all throughout his ministry. And he does that again here in John chapter 10. Friend, draw close for just a second here, because I want to do this as the Erskin Music Show. I want to make sure that we have some understanding of the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is there not just simply to reveal Christ, but to reveal the character of God, to let us know that God is. And for all my Islamic friends that are watching, and other friends who are out there who are watching this perhaps of another religion or another stripe, you need to know that the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, what we call in Christian theology, the Trinity, is a vital and important distinction for understanding who God is. God revealed, God in 3 persons, blessed Trinity. It's important for us to recognize that we don't have one God in the Old Testament, then another God that shows up in the New Testament, and then somebody that kind of helps these 2 gods kind of work things out. But the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, since the dawn of creation and before that, pre-creation, have existed in community and have existed with a purpose and a plan and fellowship. And as the outworking of that takes place after the fall in Genesis chapter 3, we see that we have the opportunity to now have a relationship with the Father. It shows us the character of the Father, that he's a loving Father. It shows us the character of the Son, that he's a loving Son who's come and given his life so that we might have connection with the Father. It predicates us to turn from what we have previously known, turn from the reality of us living apart from God, living in our sin, living in our shame, and turn to a heavenly Father, repent of our sin, and trust Jesus Christ. And so that's what we have before us in John chapter 10. He goes on, not only is he patient with his disciples, and when they don't understand, he continues to go on with this analogy of the Father and of the Son and of the hearing of the voice. And so, as the preacher would often say from the book of Hebrews, in the day that you hear the Lord's voice, do not harden your heart when it comes to the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, Dolphins, what do you think about the Dolphins? They enjoyed that devotion, Dolphins. All right, let's see if we can get some pirate stuff going on here today. That was super special yesterday when we had my birds that were coming in and doing their thing. Where are the birds at? I love the birds. Oh no, we don't. We want. Yeah. Hey, it's the pirate. Okay, look at that. I'll make the bird fly anytime I want to. Bird, fly. You know what? All this technology, and this is what we end up doing with it. Birds flying off my shoulder. Now, yesterday, I somehow magically got this hat to reside on the hat of Big Head, showing that Big Head is actually a character in this. So I don't know how we can do it. Transfer the hat to Big Head. But we're going to work on that. In fact, if you're wondering what music artists in Nashville really do, every once in a while we'll go to the studio and record a song. But mostly we sit around on our apps and try to figure out how we can transfer this hat to Big Head. That's what we have going on here in the Erskin Music Show. So we got some folks that are watching today in eager anticipation of our guest that's coming on here in just a few moments here. But don't wonder if I have time to do the national That's Weird segment. And for those of you who are watching the show, you're probably already saying, you with that funny looking pirate hat and that bird that's flying off your shoulder, if that's not weird, I don't know what is. But I was going to actually put the national day in the That's Weird segment. So here we go.
That's weird.
I mean, is it so weird that I would have a pirate hat and a bird that when I point my finger flies off of my shoulder? That shouldn't be that weird. This is the Erskine Music Show after all. All right. So For those of you who are also watching, we see Meg Havasavik that's on here this morning, watching from Waxahachie, Texas. So great to have you on the show this morning. Again, comment section is turned on. I don't have the icon. Wait, I can put it up here. We got a few moments before Angela comes on here, and so I am all eager about doing this, putting my icons where they matter. Put the icon where it matters. I don't even know. Who knows? I was gonna do cat psychology this morning, but you know what? We don't do cat psychology anymore. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. So if that hasn't been weird enough, I can do this and I can make other things happen. So essentially that's weird segment, and we'll get it in really quickly here this morning. Angela, come forth. I'll just be finishing up the that's weird segment, if that's even possible for me to finish up that's weird, because I'm just weird. But here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, really quickly here. Angela's in the queue here. She's waiting, so I'm not gonna make ladies wait at the door. But did you know November 4th is National Men Make Dinner Day? National Men Make. Okay. Well, I have already had a discussion with my wife. We're getting pizza tonight, and does that count as making dinner? I'm not quite sure it does. It's also National Candy Day, and so those of you who are not men or connected to men in that way, the men will maybe the men make dinner and get candy on this day, and so it should just be National Ladies Day. So all right, so we got a couple of national important days there, and I didn't know this until recently. I started looking at this and preparing for this segment, that every day is a celebration day. We're going to get back to that a little bit later because we got Just Dance coming out, but let me get to a appropriate camera here that makes it seem like a legitimate show here. Oh, oh, oh. All right. All right. This is real. This is the real deal. Angela's at the door. Should we let her in? Yes. And we have some comments. The bird and the hat are cool and weird. All right. Yes. Oh, I need to get cat psychology off of here. Come on. You guys, thank you so much for your involvement and your interest in cats. I hate cats. I hate all the cats in the whole wide world, to borrow from Nacho Libre. I love orphans, but I hate cats. So that's the reason why the cat psychology thing is. If you've never seen this show before, I do apologize in advance. But now, without further ado, at the doorbell, Angela McCuiston. Let's get her on the show.
Hey. I don't know that we can be friends if you hate cats.
Okay. Stop cheering. You're more excited about her than you are me. All right. Angela.
Erskin, what's up, man?
How are you today?
I'm tired. I just woke up. I'm not gonna lie.
Real talk. I love it. We're starting out with real talk.
We are. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. You know, I woke up a little earlier this morning because I thought, hey, I want to make sure that I go to the gym before I get this episode in, because she's going to ask me, you know, have you been rehabilitating your injuries? Have you been working hard? And I don't want to come on the show and be like, well, actually, I've been being lazy. So I got in the gym early this morning, got a quick workout in, and I got back in time to prepare for the show. So I've been up for a minute.
Nicely done, sir. My workout is that I recently, like on Monday, I got my 2 giant trees trimmed, and I asked them to leave all the mulch. They left all the mulch. So it's been 2 days of shoveling. I'm on day 3 of shoveling mulch by hand across my yard. I'm so wiped out.
You have no friends?
No.
not those kind of friends, huh?
Nope. You want to shovel some mulch with me? Heck
Hey,
no.
you got those. Hey, let's kick it. Let's hang out, friends. But like, hey, let's
It's
do some
okay.
work, or I got to move today, kind of friends.
Right. No, this is good. It's an excellent workout. Excellent
Fantastic.
workout.
Well, let me give you a proper introduction here. Angela is a believer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a musician. She's an athlete. She's a trainer. She's a podcaster. You're also an author, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, I thought that was one as well. And I could go on and on and on again. But here is the founder, the CEO, the president of the entire Music Strong industry. Angela McCuiston is on our show today. Thank you for joining us this morning and waking up in time for the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Yes, this has been really cool. Like, I don't know what kind of team you have working with you, but your team is incredible because I get an email from you probably 2 or 3 times a week about different things that are going on. I see your information on Facebook constantly, and you are doing a ton of things. And so I know I sold you short on that introduction. Tell us more about the whole industry and the enterprise that is known as Music Strong and how that came to be.
Yeah, sure. So I'll try to keep this brief, but if you can see this behind me, I'm going the wrong direction. So 90% of musicians will actually be injured, and that's not a made up statistic. You know, like 70% of statistics are made up, including that one. That one is not made up. So the story is that I've been injured 4 different times from playing my instrument. I'm a flute player. I've had 2 flute injuries, a piccolo injury, and an alto flute injury.
A flautist.
Yes. No, flouting is rude. I don't flout. So every time I'd go to the doctor to get this addressed and be like, what do I do about this? They would say, well, just quit playing. Like, what?
What? Insufficient.
Yeah, that's the biggest cop-out answer ever. Doctors just didn't know what to do with musicians. And I had always loved fitness. And I wondered, when I graduated with my master's, it didn't really prepare me for a job. And I'd always loved being doing entrepreneurial stuff. And I thought, I wonder if there's a way that I can fuse music and fitness together.
Yeah.
And so there weren't any people who wanted to take flute lessons where I lived. And I thought, I wonder if personal training is like teaching flute lessons. Let me go look at this. So I started studying for it. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is great. This is just like teaching. This is teaching, but it's more teaching people about their bodies and how to take control over their own lives and, help themselves instead of an instrument. And so, as I'm studying for this, I start NASM is who I have my certifications through. And they talk a lot about muscle imbalances. And this light bulb went off on my head. I'm like, oh my
Ding.
gosh. Ding. I know you got to. There it is.
That's a doorbell. Maybe a car horn. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine right now.
Ding, car horn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the car horn went off in my brain. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is why we're getting injured. Like my 3rd injury, that's literally what the doctor said. He said, you've got a muscle imbalance between, your chest here and the muscle that's spazzing in your back, causing you to not be able to breathe. The problem is that the muscle here that doesn't hurt is so tight, it's pulling on this weak one in the back. And what he told me, this is where I'd had enough. What he told me was, well, you've got, you basically have a knot in this muscle and it's so strong. Ordinarily what I would do is I'd give you a cortisone shot right in the middle of that knot. It would cause it to calm down. The problem is that knot's right over your heart and it'd probably kill you.
Okay. So faced with imminent death. Okay. Can I call timeout real quick here?
Yeah.
Because I know there's some folks who are watching this who are engaged in music of various kinds. A couple of things that I wanted to highlight about what it is that Angela has said thus far. She's got this incredible God-given talent that has been given to her. She's worked hard along the process. She's become injured in this process. And then that native curiosity that I think every entrepreneur has, it's kind of like, well, what if we do this? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I could totally resonate when you were telling your story when we first met. This was a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago when we met.
Yeah.
Like this native curiosity that in this drive that you already had, something good was going to happen in this story because you just kept going and you kept not taking no for an answer. And I wanted to highlight that in your story because it gets even better from there. Please, ma'am, you continue.
Okay, thanks. So he said, that'll probably kill you. And I was like, cool. No, I don't want that. What's plan B? He goes, you should just quit playing. I'm like,
retired.
Nice, dude.
At the age of 21.
No, that was like 26, I think. But
Okay.
I was like, no dice. I got an audition next week. Plan C is, he goes, here's some cream. Like, give me your cream. You're fired. You know, go figure this out. This is not okay.
It's before CBD oil.
Come and take your stupid cream and, you know, bombed the audition, took his cream, whatever. And I was like, enough is enough. We as musicians deserve better than you should just quit because I don't know what to do.
Fight.
Fighting words. Shots fired, right? I was like,
You're
I'm
fired.
So.
I mean, I'm not coming here anymore. So you're not hired.
Fired. No, guys, you can fire doctors. You can do this. You hire them, you can fire them. You don't have to be loyal to a doctor. They don't give you the results you want. Just find somebody else. I mean, we don't think of it that way, right? So
You do.
I said, I'm tired of there being no resources. I will be a resource somehow. So I studied for this certification and they talk about muscle imbalances and all these things. I thought, oh, that makes so much sense. No, this is the thing. I see this an awful lot that musicians do a lot of stretching. We do a lot of relaxation, a lot of yoga, when do you hear about musician-specific strength training? No, stay out of the gym. You could hurt your fingers. No, you could hurt your fingers doing anything, right? Exactly. We don't hear enough about strength, and it's like two sides of the coin. If you only stretch what's tight, you never strengthen what's weak. You're gonna just it's not gonna be balanced, right? So that's
Say that again. Say that again. Come on, girl.
If you only stretch what's tight and you never strengthen what's weak, that imbalance is going to perpetuate and get worse. And you can actually make a problem worse than making it better, especially if you're blindly stretching. It hurts and you didn't need it to be stretched. Didn't need to be stretched. Sorry, it's early.
It's early.
Yeah, well, not for you. But if you stretch something that hurts and it's overstretched, then you could have just made your problem worse. So a lot of times muscles hurt because they're weak. Mm-hmm. I can preach on this all day.
Yes, you could. Yes, I've heard your presentation before. And guys, let me just jump in here real quick. It just so you know, let's see what happened. So this last year, one of my New Year's resolution was I wanted to get in pretty elite conditioning and elite fitness. And so I started doing keto, started running a lot, started lifting a lot, started doing intermittent fasting as well. And about 6 months into the year, I got hurt. I tore muscle in my shoulder. And then I also still have some lingering injury that has happened in my forearm where I literally could not pick up a glass of water. I went out to go shoot baskets, which I do pretty much every day. And I went to go shoot the basketball. I was like 2 feet away and I could not get the basketball to the rim. And I thought, that's strange. I've all of a sudden just lost all strength in my arm. And then in the other arm, literally in the same week, I could not pick up a glass of water. Now, you guys know in the Erskin Music Show, all throughout the summer, I was touring. I was probably in some native land where you're at, going all around the country and touring. And I'm trying to work through these injuries. And so I'm doing this a lot and smiling and enjoying myself and jumping around, and it hurts so bad. And so when there was a seminar out there that was like, how do we rehabilitate, strengthen these muscles, do the things that you need to do so that you can play for longevity, and Angela was presenting with her incredible personality, I was just like a magnet, like a moth to the flame. Ma'am, continue.
You are.
I need this.
Yeah. So a lot of the injuries that musicians have, they can be lumped into a couple different categories. We get overuse injuries. So if you think about how you play an instrument. So if you play guitar, you only play, I'm going to make it short so you can see, your right arm is going to go in front, your left arm is going to go to the left, right? But you never do the opposite. It feels weird to the opposite.
And this is also the posture that I feed babies. Like
that too.
I can do this.
You need to feed babies the other way.
For some reason, feed the baby. I can feed babies that. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So we get this imbalance already, just based on the posture of how we play our instrument. Like I play flute to the right. You never play flute to the left. It's not built that way. You can't do that. Same with guitar. I've heard doctors say, well, can't you just like play a different instrument or turn it around? No. Can't you just be a dentist? That's not how it works. Down. Right. So, yeah, right? Like, no, dude, the buttons go the other way. Anyway, so it's, so you've got the postural considerations, and then you've also got overuse. So if you think like, you have to build up your endurance to be able to play your instrument, right? If you just jump into a 6-hour recording session, you're going to be in a lot of pain. Whereas if you start half an hour, then add a half hour, and then you add an hour, and then you build up that time, you're not going to be as sore, you're not going to whatever. And the muscles of your forearm, they need just as much endurance as the muscles of your legs or your back or your shoulder.
Yes.
Right. And something else to note is that you don't just play your instrument with like your fingers or your lips or whatever. You use your entire body to play your instrument. So if your core is weak, your shoulder is going to hurt, or your low back is going to hurt, or you're going to have hip pain, and your knees are going to bother you or something, right? So if you've got dysfunction in one area of the body, it can translate to somewhere else. And a lot of times the site of pain is not the source of pain. So if it hurts, don't stretch it. You don't know. See what it needs, right? So that's where I got into the whole strength training thing. It's like, let's find your muscle imbalances. Let's find what do you do? How much a day are you playing? Have you done anything opposite? How much do you bring your arms behind you and squeeze your shoulder blades together? And doesn't that feel amazing? Because we don't do that. We don't do enough rowing. We don't do enough pulling. We do all this way. Do enough this way,
That's
right?
amazing.
So, I've got a keyboard player right now with all kinds of like shoulder issues in both shoulders.
Made the show so much better.
Yeah, right. Just move around. So the musicians have all kinds of different issues, but if we just ignore pain and we don't address it, it's just going to get worse. And then this goes into a whole nother thing, but we have this lack mindset as musicians. We are taught there's never enough gigs. There's a shortage. You're always going to be a broke, starving musician, and you're always going to have to day job, and there's just not enough.
Hey, can I get you to come back for that just a second? Because I love that part. That's like another part that's going to springboard us to another part of the conversation here.
Yeah.
But can you describe, because on your website, you're doing so many things. You just do all the things, girl. You just do them all. But you do so many different things. Describe a day in the life of Angela McCuiston and this whole Music Strong enterprise, because when I talk to other musicians and artists and kind of try to describe a day in the life of, I generally tell them that there's no 2 days that are alike. Like there's different things going on all the time, and different opportunities and different things that have to shuffle around. And so if you're wanting to be a full-time musician, full-time artist, entrepreneur, and you like regularity, like every day is the same, kind of a cookie cutter kind of existence, this is probably not for you. This is, maybe something else that you should probably think about doing. What is a day in the life of, what are some of the things that happen in the day of the life of Angela McCuiston? Then we'll get back to the other piece that you were just talking about, because we need to hear about that lack mentality.
Oh, it's super important. So when it comes to that regularity, if you like structure and schedule, you're going to have to make your own in the life of a musician, because you don't have it. So you have to be good at that. That's kind of self-discipline of, this is my schedule, this is how I set it. And no 2 days for me are alike. So like today and Mondays are my days where I'm working from home. I'm doing computer stuff. I'm training people online. I'm writing workouts. I've got a pilot program. I'm adding information there, and I'm teaching people about all of this, whether I'm giving a workshop online or training people or recording videos, or today I've got the Musician's Essential Exercises workout at noon that I'm going to be leading, all those kinds of things, right? So there's always something else I can share or build or write, or I've got a list about this long on my to-do list. So that's always happening.
There's always that list.
Oh man,
the list is looming. I'm sitting here looking at like 3 note cards full of like lists, like literally. If you could see off camera here, there's this list, and then there's that list, and then there's this list, and then there's that list, and I'm like, okay, which list am I on today, and which part of this list am I on? And so yeah, that sounds pretty familiar to me.
I got 2 more lists on my phone and 4 right over here. It's like, I need a list for my lists.
If you could only see off the camera, a little bit to my left, a little bit to my right, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, so true. So there's always content to be created, and like the newsletter and the email list that I have. It's like, okay, so I don't just share what am I doing. It's, hey, let me share something helpful, something that I dealt with a client. So another day I'm going to be training clients in the gym, and I'm there a few days a week, and I'm training people one-on-one. And I'm also teaching at Trevecca. So on Tuesdays I teach.
Oh, are you teaching at Trevecca now?
Yeah, I teach flute at Trevecca.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the
Yeah,
music
and
part of
I
that.
coach their woodwind group. I'm hoping to start. I gave a workshop there a couple of years ago, and they've been talking about my doing either another one or doing a class. I'm really hoping to be the first class where we talk about injury prevention for musicians and strength training for musicians in the music department. I'm
Wow,
working
that's
on that.
incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Building on that, hopefully, I'm going to be building an actual course that we can give to universities to teach this. Because when are we taught about our bodies in music school? We're not really. We're like breathe from the diaphragm. What does that mean? Do you know
Yeah,
what
unless you're in
diaphragm is?
marching band, that's generally not
Yes.
something that's a discussion piece. Were you in
Oh, yeah.
marching band? You were in marching band, weren't you?
Believe it or not, we
I was
we had.
too.
You were?
Yeah, I played trombone.
Did I not know this? That's cool.
We talked about it, but
I forgot.
you
I'm
have
sorry.
you had so many people that were around you that were fangirling you that I just
You're very
I just
nice.
kind of I shrank into the back and I was like, well, I'll contact her later.
Oh, that's so funny. No, the only time we had marching band in high school, I had a tiny high school. There were like 30 of us in this band. There's 30 people in my graduating class.
Oh,
So
okay.
the 1 year we had marching band, I was drum major. So I got to college and I had to do marching band for my scholarship. And I'm like, I'm so lost. What do I do with my feet? I have to play and walk?
Glide step,
Memorize?
girl,
What?
glide step.
So lost.
Hey, this is cool. I I went to a fairly large high school in Texas, and so we marched about 300. We
Oh,
were,
yeah.
you know, I wouldn't
Texas.
say we were perennial favorites, but we did win a state championship UIL for our wind ensemble and orchestra, or at least concert band. But from the marching
Nice.
band side of that, when I got to college, I played college basketball. But when I got to college, also because I'd done so much marching band, I was in the marching band, and all 4 years I became a horn captain my second year, third, and fourth year in college, and it was just a really neat experience alongside of basketball. I was back at ETSU this last week, and I watched the marching band because they had Bands of America that were in, and their band is so good. They're so much better than we were at the college level. I was so proud of seeing the ETSU marching band just in the mini dome there last week that it was just a moment of pride for me to just see how far that program has come and how much I
It's a
enjoyed that
sport.
kind of thing. Yeah, it definitely is. My son was looking at it and he's like, "Man, they're running across the field with those tubas. That's got to be heavy." And I was like, "Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That is
It's
definitely a
no joke.
sport."
Yeah, exactly. And then there's actually a guy who this is a tangent. Marching Band Health is his the name of his thing, and he actually goes and he does marching band specific stuff, strength
Oh,
training for
cool.
them, which I think is brilliant. Thank goodness somebody's doing that, right? Instead
Yeah,
of just running and doing push-ups.
I would think that every drum and bugle corps group probably needs to do that or has somebody that does that for them.
Every football team has an athletic trainer. Why doesn't every marching band have a personal trainer or
Yeah,
athletic trainer?
we would stretch pretty extensively before we began any type of drill.
Good. Yeah.
That's probably why I'm still
So
alive today.
probably
That's the only reason why I'm
you're running
alive
deeper.
today. We stretched before marching band.
I'm just gonna leave that. So getting sorry, that was a whole tangent there.
Yeah, so I want to get to this mindset thing because breaking news, and we have some people who are making comments. I'm getting so involved in the conversation that I'm missing the comments that are here. Yes,
I didn't even tell you about the Army, by the way.
Well, you can tell us about that. Then we're going to talk about mindset, and then
Yeah,
I don't know how much time you have this morning, but
I just got to shovel mulch.
You got all the time in the world.
Man.
Oh, look at that. We have to talk longer. All right.
It's like 5 feet tall. I've made a gent. It's about 2.5 feet tall now.
Oh yeah, I like this comment. I like this. This is my man Rockin' Ron, who's a radio guy out in Kansas. It's my radio friend out in Kansas. He has said, make sure that on our list we have time for Jesus. Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a beautiful thing. We'll get to that just a little bit. Go back to that mindset stuff because I want to talk. I want people to hear about your mindset as you approach things, because I think sometimes people who want to do music and are doing some modicum of music, they kind of struggle along maybe more than they have to because their mindset is from a position of lack, like there's not going to be enough things, and they don't realize how much is available to them. So I want you to kind of speak to that for just a second. I said we'd get back to it. Both of us have ADD, but we are managing somehow to keep the show on the rails.
All right. I mean, I don't really need any prompting. I can just talk all day. It's fine. So, lack mindset. Let's unpack this a little bit. I'm going to make the correlation between lack mindset and injury rates in musicians. Now, this is not a authentic study. This is just an observation. But go with me, if you will, to a musician. We're going. A musician who's a freelancer on a journey here. Freelancer musician. And they are taught in the beginning, you have to say yes to every gig. Every gig. Because if you don't say yes to every gig, you might not get called for the next one. And you have to say yes to every single one, because if you don't get called, they also might think you're not available. You are not responsible. You are, we can't depend on that person. So you have to say yes to everyone, whether you like it or not. And at the expense of everything else in your life, the gig comes first because there aren't enough to go around. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're saying yes to everything. Okay, now we're playing more than we want, or we're playing through, we're starting to hurt maybe, and we feel like we can't say no because there's not enough. And what happens if you tell people you hurt now? Oh, well, don't call her. She's injured. No, you can't depend on her. She might not be able to show up. I know of musicians in Nashville that have not been hired because they told somebody they were in pain. That's not okay.
Breaking news up on this thing.
Right? Okay. So now we are ignoring pain because we think we have to, because there aren't enough jobs and we have to take what we can get. So now we're ignoring it. The pain is getting worse because pain is a signal something's not right. Right? But if we ignore it, we can just get through the gig. We can just get through the show. We just get through the concert just until the next one. Then we can rest. And then we rest and we feel better until we do the show again and it's back. And then we don't feel as good when we rest. And then rest isn't helping. And then pretty soon, I was in the violin shop a little while back talking to them. And the owner there said, yeah, there's a pretty high profile violin player I know of who's pretty sure he's just going to hang up his bow because he's in so much pain. He's just going to have to quit. Excuse me? Why? Why do we think we
ding, that's where I come in.
Our bodies break?
You said, ding, that's where I come in. I got a plan.
Yes. Why do we think we have to just play until our bodies break? Because they will. We're not indestructible, right? We're flesh and blood here. Okay. If you are a soccer player, think about this. How many times we watch soccer and someone pulls a hamstring? Like every game, right?
Well, come on now. For those who are soccer out there, and I would dare anybody to say anything different, there's a lot of fake injuries in soccer. If you've ever watched that sport, man, guys can just be, you're like, man, they just must have tore everything in their leg.
Yeah, right.
And they get back up and they start running again. It's like, you were totally faking it, trying to get a yellow card.
Right? Okay. But do we think that they are lesser athletes because they got injured? No.
No.
No. Are they lesser athletes? No, exactly. Is their ability lessened anymore because they busted a hamstring or an ankle or something?
No.
I'm waiting for your sound bites.
I'm trying to get to that one, but that's okay. I'll get to it later.
That's okay. No, we don't think any less of them, right? Why do we think lesser of musicians if we hurt? Didn't we just say musicians are athletes? You spend how many hours a day with your instrument, playing how many hours a day, how many hours per week, over how many decades? You think that's not a thing? And you don't just use your fingers, use your whole body. And so when your neck hurts,
unpack it, girl. Unpack it.
You think you're lesser of a musician? I had one musician who got injured say, "Oh, I should have known better." What? What do you mean you should have known better? Oh, well, you shouldn't have gotten the flu. You should have known better. What? Stop it. My
sound effects are all gone. It's just you and I now. We have no help in this world.
Like you can't control that, right? You can't control what disease you catch. if you get a cold or your allergies flare up or something like that, and you should have known better than to get injured. How do you know you should have known better? Were you given any tools to prevent that? No. So what? So why do we blame ourselves? So it all goes back to this lack mindset of we have to. There's not enough. And if someone takes my spot because I'm hurt, I won't have a job and I'll have to go do something else because there are only so many slots. Especially in the classical music world. My gosh, they're like cattle calls at these auditions.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Hey,
done enough of those.
Do you ever do anything with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes?
I don't. I haven't. I knew of them.
You were never a part of that organization?
I wasn't, because I wasn't really an athlete. I just like to go to the gym and pick up heavy things. I don't have any good hand-eye coordination.
I just do athletic things. I've never been an athlete, though, although I'm lifting all of this weight. I saw a video of you. You were like lifting up some kind of thing over your head, and like
barbell.
Yeah. Something, some piece of equipment,
some heavy object.
Yes. Hey, so talk to us a little bit about well, we already talked about some of the mindset stuff, but you have some new projects and some new things that are coming out. I wanted to have people hear a little bit about what some of those things are. You got some exciting announcements to make. I think you were breaking some news yesterday about some new deal that you had, or sponsored by Nike, or I don't even know what it is. So you tell everybody what the latest, greatest news is in the world of McCuiston Music Strong.
Music Strong, I like that. Yeah, well, this was some of that breaking news. I was like, everybody come join the Erskin Music Show, because this is a cool
I saw that.
Here.
Thank you for that. We actually got like maybe 2 more viewers today.
Hey, it's okay. I think my podcast has 4 viewers. That's all right.
Hey,
we were at 6. I don't know if we did something wrong or we're looking at the wrong numbers.
You know what's crazy about this is I know you're there, but because I'm not using the native camera to the computer, I'm using my own different camera, then I don't ever really see the people who are on this show. And that's a little known fact that I guess I'm breaking news here today.
What?
Is that when people come on my show, like, here's what I'd have to do. If I was actually going to look at you, I would be doing this the entire show. And so I don't want to do that because that seems unprofessional. I want to look at the guest. And so what I end up doing is I've got a Spider-Man poster that's over there. I end up looking at Spider-Man. So when I'm looking at Spider-Man, it looks like I'm looking at the guest that's there. But because of that, I don't, like, I'd have to look down to see you. Like, I know that you're there, but I don't see you during the interview. That's
so odd.
Exactly. You know what? I've got a sound bite for that one.
What we got?
Oh, that's Just Dance.
That's weird.
Exactly. Only on the Erskin Music Show can there be so many random things going on. I do a weekend show called The Way Forward, and my buddy is like, we did it in person. We had done like the whole like live stream thing with 2 screens. He's in Illinois, I'm here in Nashville. We did a show together, and he's like, you're pushing so many buttons down there that people don't know about. Things that are going on, sounds that are going on, banner that's going on over there. Spider-Man's over here. The Ninja Turtles are over here. Books are over here. The world map's over here. My list is over here. So yeah, there's just a slice of life. It's just going to be like this for the foreseeable future.
It's how we do. It's how we do.
You're wondering how we became entrepreneurs? It's because no one else could keep up with our mind.
Nope.
Or understand us. And so we were just like, no, we've got this idea. Like, you're like, no one's ever thought of that idea before. I know, that's why it's going to work.
Exactly. So the cool news that I have, I've got some projects going on, like you mentioned. Some big ones. Let's see. So I've got 2 online programs that I'd love to just real quick what they are. One is a workout and one is not a workout. And these are big deals because I've got instrument specific downloadable workouts. You can download them off my website right now.
Yeah, and that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, so they're on the website. You can download them for trombone, for harp, for audio engineer, for conductor, for percussion, for timpani specifically. I mean, for you name it. The only one I don't have yet is accordion, which I just wrote a workout for an accordion player.
Accordion.
So yeah.
You wrote a workout for accordion.
I did. I wrote it.
Only on the Erskin Music Show. It's Angela
Yeah,
McCuiston.
and steel guitar is on my list next, but that one I've got to learn a little bit more about. Steel guitar and accordion are some difficult instruments, and accordion's like 50 pounds. We're going to get
It's no joke.
distracted here. So
I picked one up one time and I was like, I don't want this smoke.
No. My great grandmother played one and she was all at 98 pounds. It weighed almost as much as she did. I don't know how she did it. So that's something that you can do. But the two big programs that I have right now are, one is called the COVID Comeback Challenge. And it's not really a challenge. It just sounded cool. So I put it in there.
Got some C's, a little bit of alliteration going on there.
MSCCC.
What's wrong with that?
Right? Nothing, not at all. Plus, it's a little catchier, right? But it's a 6 or a 12-week workout program. It's not downloadable. You get it through an app, but it's instrument specific, and it's going to take you from maybe you took a break during this pandemic, and you took time off, and now you got shows back, or you're going to come back, but you're not in that tip-top physical shape where you're like, I could be on stage for 4 hours or whatever. This is going to lead you from like 0 to, I'm strong and my endurance is through the roof and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And that is either 6 or 12 weeks long. And that's also on the website. The other one, the big one that I'm doing right now that I'm just super stoked about, it's my pilot program. I'm calling it Job Security for Musicians because I'm not really sure what else to call it.
For lack of a better term, everything you ever wanted to know as a musician. That seems reasonable.
That's basically. I thought I'd narrow it down a little bit. And so it started with the lack mindset, but it's basically how to avoid injury and how to overcome injury in yourself and other people. Because in the program, we learn that like the 3 things that you don't want to be injured. You want to have a clue what to do if you do get injured. What are my options? And 3 is you need strength and endurance. So we cover all 3 of those things, the different types of injuries, the different types of practitioners, different body awareness techniques. And we actually get into writing your own corrective exercise routine in the program. So that's a very quick overview. If anybody's interested in that, send me a message. I'll send you a video explaining it way better and we'll talk. And
please reach out in the show notes for today. We've got all the Instagram information and all the other handles that you have there on social media. You can get in contact with Angela McCuiston and her Music Strong. Probably start with the website. That'd be a good place to kind of see an overview of everything that goes on there and then branch out from there. Please get in contact with her. Entrepreneur. She's doing wonderful things, beautiful things in this world, and excited to have her on as a guest today. Before you leave.
I didn't tell you the big one, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't tell you the big announcement.
The big reveal. It's your show.
Reveal. Yeah. Oh, shoot. There he left. Okay. Here's the big announcement, guys. So I'm really excited to announce that as of this past Monday, which was November 1st, if you are a musician in Nashville, in the Musicians Union, you are able to purchase healthcare through Sound Healthcare. And I have just partnered with Sound Healthcare to be one of their provider benefits. So if you get insurance through Sound Healthcare, through the Musicians Union, you can actually sign up for one-on-one personal training with me at a 25% discount, which I'm not offering to anybody else. So just if you are going to be purchasing healthcare through Sound Healthcare, you can get personal training with me. And I also offer online programs. So you don't have to be one-on-one with me in person. This is going to go towards any of my programs, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's online, whether it's a hybrid program where I write you a program, we do one-on-one. It's going to be 25% off for all Sound Healthcare members who are part of the union. And that open enrollment started Monday. So this is starting now. The details are coming out. They're finalizing that. But yeah, that's my big announcement. I'm pretty excited.
It's the Angela McCuiston show with big announcements galore. She's taking over the show. I'm literally the co-host of my own show here now. It's her show, and I'm just co-hosting it.
I was not prepared for that.
Sorry. I'll do that from time to time when I have guests on that have big announcements. And that was a pretty big announcement because for years that has been a question lingering in the minds of, I know, many musicians and people who are out there. What about healthcare? And you are so integrally connected with all of that, of course, you would be one of the ones who is primary in focus there with that new announcement. So congratulations. Wait a minute. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
You weren't ready either.
Man,
Okay.
just here.
Nice.
It's actually going to keep going.
Okay.
I've lost control of the show.
That's so fun. Yeah, take
Oh my
preventative
goodness,
care.
it won't stop.
Like, where's the button?
Okay, it's playing the entire song.
That's too funny. Vivaldi would be proud.
But that was worthy of a big announcement like that. And so if you've missed any portion of the show, you can go back and you can watch this in its entirety on Facebook Live, YouTube, and also on Twitch. And I think because of that, you can send it out to your various audiences once the show is recorded and done. Angela?
I think so. That's awesome.
Cool. Well, we're going to have you back because there were so many things I wanted to talk to you about. But
We didn't get
as
to
I
any of them.
remember now, both of us are quite loquacious. And so our randomness mixed with the fact that we use a bunch of words, mixed with the fact that we're both kind of entrepreneurs, a little bit nerdy like that, means it's going to be a long interview. So we got to have you come back for part 2 because we want to hear more about the faith aspect of your journey. And one of the reasons why I think we connected, because I hear a lot of people do a lot of different presentations. I don't always connect with the people who are all taking an aspect of what it is they're saying, but I think you and I kind of connected on that spiritual level. And so it was readily apparent that this is not just somebody that's just doing something so that she can make money or make a name for herself, but she's being directed by the Lord and she's doing what she's doing for a purpose and with some intentionality in mind. And because of that, I reached out to you and said, hey, tell me more. And so that's been a great connection, great contact. And I think there'll be many people who will benefit from that, who are watching this show or will watch the show, because there's a little bit of a delay for the people who watch it internationally. They don't watch it live. And then for some people who are here in the United States who don't get up early, named Angela McCuiston, they will watch the show a little bit later as well. But you got up today. We are so proud of you.
I just need to go to bed earlier. That's my fault. It's all we talk about responsibility. That is all on me. It's all my fault.
But you're here. You're here.
I'm here.
I got nothing to say. Hey, you showed up. You did what you showed out when you showed up. So
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
We love that about you. You're going to go and shovel today and hopefully not yourself.
I'm going to go shovel mulch. Y'all come help, please.
There's Angela McCuiston. Her information is down there. Bottom. Reach out to her if you'd like to shovel some mulch because that's on tap for today. Fantastic.
Right. Thank you so much for having me on this show.
Yes, thank you for coming on the show, and I will go back and watch it so I can actually see you on the show.
I can't believe you don't see this. That's amazing. You can do this blind.
Well, it was fun, and I enjoyed doing this, and so we'll have you back at some point. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
God bless. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. That was the Angela McCuiston show. She just took over the show. So popular, so involved, so entrepreneurial. And we do want to get her back on for part 2 of that because the Jesus equation part of that, for those of you who are watching the Erskin Music Show, if you know anything about Erskin Music, you know that it is a faith-based show. Not always family-based because every once in a while I have to use the censorship button and go, ooh. Oh, yeah, I turned the sound off because Ode to Joy was playing all over the place forever. But it is a faith-based show. Definitely working through the process of sanctification. But in the process of that, 1 hour a day is what we ask. We're at 54 minutes right now. And just to rework and reimagine life. All right, for this last several minutes here, I wanted to give some shout outs here. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. We still have some time on the clock here. And I know I went over yesterday, but that happens from time to time. Here's what we got. For those of you who are watching, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Please remember to enable the notifications as it will remind you of upcoming shows and keep you posted on all the latest breaking news. Speaking of breaking news, we are here, Erskin Music Show. And we have some breaking news as of today.
Just dance, everybody. We're gonna raise them like a party. Just dance to the music.
Okay, people, not my first album, not my second album, not my third album or my fourth album or my fifth project or my sixth project, but this is number 7 now. Number 7, Just Dance. It has finally arrived. It is here. I could just shower the place with CDs. We don't have as many CDs as we used to, but there are still some people who buy CDs. So we had to get some of those for that audience. But for those of you who are out there in the world, the known world, and maybe even space stations, I don't know what kind of reception you get on space stations. If you're listening to this on a space station, just put a little thumbs up and we'll know that you guys are good up there. But if you're listening anywhere else in the world, you can Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever your online store is, Google Play, all of those different places. Just Dance is now available. 7th project, as I said, it is chock full of remixes of some of the classic songs that you guys have come to know and love, like Only Love is an Answer. Little EDM mix of that song, as well as Be Brave, which we'll play here in just a second. It's got the remastered version of Circles featuring Mason Zagota on this. So let me just play something here that is a sample. I'm not going to play the entire song, but I'm just going to give you a sample of the kind of things you just heard. A little bit of Just Dance. The album, the party starts out with Just Dance, and whoo, we're here, we're doing it. I think we go to Be Brave after that. So here's a snippet from that. If you've never heard that before, here's a little snippet from that.
Surrounded by people watching me. They're watching me, watching my every single move. Something special is rising up. Yeah, it's rising up, coming from deep inside of me. Like a flame, it's the passion of my life. You can see it when you look into my eyes. I'll never be the same, yeah. Love makes me who I am today. Makes me wanna be brave. Love makes me who I am today. Makes me wanna be brave. There's a melody and it's rising up. Yeah.
So that's just a quick sample of what you're going to get on this album. So it's going to be dancey. It's hip-hoppy. Love Makes Me Want to Be Brave. You got Just Dance that's on there. If you're thinking about dance party, if you're thinking of lights here in the background, woo! Yes. And this is the Thursday episode. But we have some new technology that's going to be coming in. So next week, we've got, I think, one pre-recorded show that's coming in next week. But next week, we've got new technology that's coming to the show. This is virtually a lights and dance party extravaganza that we are having. Here's a little bit more of what you're going to hear on this new album. It's a song called Circles featuring Mason Zagota, remastered now for release here on the Just Dance album. Beautiful. And I'll show you a cover of that album here in just a minute.
Got my attention to hear what you say. I've been listening closely, so I don't miss a word. No, I can't go back where I was before. I'm moving forward, chasing so much more. So much more. I started coming alive, setting the world on fire. Nothing can stop me now. My past won't hold
So that's a little bit more of what it is that you're going to receive on there. Some old classics. I'm looking down the roster here of what we've got going on here. The actual album I've got here in hand. Check this out. This is what the cover of it looks like. Breaking news here. This is the new album. We are doing it here. It's like a virtual party. So got the album here. Can we get this in the screen? It's got to cover my face. But this is what this is what it looks like. Just Dance. Oh, there we go. We can see it right there. Right there. Just Dance. We got multiple copies of that for those of you who still like CDs, and there are some people who still like CDs. There are still some people who have CD players. Sometimes people will get these CDs and they will use them as a frisbee, or they'll use them to ward off foul beasts that are flying around their house. But nonetheless, whatever you do, however you stream music, it's the Erskin Music Show, and we got a new album, new project that's come out today, and dance sneak peek tonight. Oh yeah, so breaking news also for this as well. Rock and Ron, who's out in Kansas, we've got a sneak peek that's going to be on Angel 95.9 if you were out in Hutchinson, Kansas, I believe. And then Rock and Ron is going to have it on his show. I'm pretty sure at some point Jesse the Rackman Radio out in California is going to have it on his show. We literally all over the nation, all over the world, Just Dance is coming out, and this is the time. This is the opportunity for you guys to get on board. If you've never heard Erskin music before, I write pop, country, hip hop, R&B, ballads, soul, children's music, and EDM, electronic dance music. And so all of those genres usually show up on my other albums. This is an album that I've dedicated to more of a dance, R&B kind of feel. And so this is a unique project. I think it's a project that we definitely needed at this point. Some of the songs and things that we do, like Is He Worth It, which I'll be playing a little bit later on today. Grace Made the First Move. Man, they're profound songs, and I love those songs. They kind of reach that deep place in our hearts. Sometimes we need to engage the people just at the level of introducing them to the vibrancy and the power and the care and the concern and the abundant life of Christianity. And so these are those songs that are sort of the front door songs as people are coming in. It's like, whoa, this is a little bit different. And literally, as I've been playing some of these songs at various places, certainly, I think last week I was on the Tom Taylor show and I was doing an interview at Chick-fil-A, and I started doing Just Dance, and people started walking around the corner saying, what in the world is going on over here? This is just literally turned into a dance party. And so it is Just Dance Day. And for those of you who are in the music industry, none offense to you. I do understand that music release happens on Friday. That's the industry standard. The reason why I started releasing my music on Thursday is that for my particular audience, Friday is a day where people are traveling and they're doing different things. And so for my people, I understand I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the music industry, but for my people, it's better to release it on Thursday and then also give them the opportunity on Friday to also process things as people are traveling and moving around. And we're going to be moving around, taking the band up to Kentucky this weekend. And so we've got an international college retreat that we're doing. So there's a lot of activity going on Friday. There's a lot of activity on every day. So it's released today. It's out there, world. Give me some comments. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know which songs you guys are enjoying, which songs are your favorite songs. We're over an hour now, and so we got to punch out here on the Erskin Music Show. It's been a wonderful time. Angela McCuiston, you can go back and you can see that interview. You can see that on Facebook Live, YouTube, and also on Twitch. We're going to be moving the show progressively to a podcast format as well. And so for those of you who, you enjoy looking at my pirate hat and bird, but you don't have time to do that because you're traveling around, well, you'll be able to podcast and just listen to the show, which hopefully will give you some good content. And like I said, breaking news. It's all sorts of breaking news. Not only is the show going to look better in the future, but also as we continue to go forward, the show is going to be a lot cleaner in terms of sound. And so we've got some new technology that's coming in. I'm really excited about that. In fact, not this show, but next show. In fact, an interview that I'm doing later on today is going to feature some of that new technology. So a lot of cool things that are going on the Erskin Music Show and in the Erskin Music world. So you guys are on board already. Tell your friends about it. We're up to over almost 750 subscribers. So we're just going to keep those subs going up. We're going to keep the energy that's going. And last but not least, I wanted to mention this, that in the screen, there you go. Over there in the screen, we have the new icon that is going to allow people to contribute to the show on Venmo. So if you wanted to literally take your phone, scan that barcode, and contribute to this show, you are more than welcome to do that. In fact, we'd love that. It's got the Just Dance icon so that you know that it's not me and not some imposter that's out there. It is really Erskine for Erskine Music. And so if you guys have been blessed through the content of this show, if you guys have been encouraged with the content of this show, whether that be the scriptures, whether that be the songs, music, commentary that we give, or special guests that have come on, please support the show. So this show has really been built upon people who have supported the show and who have enjoyed what it is that I do and said, hey, do more of it, and here's some money. So build this castle in the sand like you would like for it to be built. And so we'll come back again next week. I want to continue. We've got some presidential approval rating polls that have come out. They're extremely low. And then we've got former President Trump making some comments about those things. I would maybe that would be something that I would talk about on this show, because I'm not trying to be contentious. You'll remember that the show that I did yesterday was on leadership. Everybody wants to be a leader until it's time to make a tough decision. Every leader is going to have to make tough decisions, and with tough decisions come difficult consequences. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because I don't want to leave that issue short. Because I don't think people are covering that the way, at least not the way that I want to cover it. So come back next week. Probably have some live shows at least 2 of the 3 days next week. Remember, on the weekend show, now the weekend show, for those of you who are still plugged in here, the weekend show is another show that comes from this format, but it is with my friend, pastor, working on his PhD right now, Pastor Jason Plummer, up in Litchfield, Illinois. So we go from Nashville, Tennessee, Litchfield, Illinois, black, white. There's a lot of different things that are different about us, but the gospel unity that we have has been so instructive as we try to point people to the way forward and how we get better. So you have done your due diligence today. More than 1 hour. I can't say anything more. It's the Erskine Music Show. God bless you guys.